Hi, I'm Jacqueline with Airport Improvement Magazine.
And I'm Clay Paslay with the Paslay Group.
Thanks for coming
Hey,
today.
you bet.
So, can you tell us some about your business that you founded?
Yes. We founded the Paslay Group back in 2006, about 18 years ago now. We provide executive program management services for airport development programs across the country. Last 18 years, we have been involved in managing about $35 billion worth of capital development at airports across the country. I think 18 different airports. So, had a pretty successful run so far.
Very much. So, Clay, can you tell us some about your executive program management?
Is something we created. It's kind of a model that we created to really help owners be more connected and involved in managing large programs. Before starting the firm, I was at DFW, as I mentioned, 25 years. And that experience from that, I kind of generated this idea of the executive program management to really create kind of a small executive team of key leaders that could integrate with the airport's executive team and really represent their interest in planning and designing and managing these big, large capital development programs.
So, explain kind of how important that is to go through as a process before starting a major project.
Yeah, the EPM model is really, there's kind of four defining characteristics of the EPM model. First, it's a small team, 2 to 4 folks. It's typically an executive program manager, a design manager, a construction manager, and a project controls manager. That sometimes varies depending on the owner's capabilities, maybe more, maybe less, kind of a thing. Secondly, we ensure that all four of those individuals, if it happens to be four, are very experienced in their various disciplines. So we're talking 20 plus year kind of experience, people coming in to work with the owner. Thirdly, kind of by definition, executive program management, we only provide that top tier executive management overseeing the program. In fact, true implementation of the EPM model, you're prohibited from providing the lower tier, second and third tier kind of project management support. So what that does, the fourth one, is this exclusive arrangement you now have with the owner of these experienced, simply focused on the success of the program. They truly become kind of this trusted advisor team for the airport to oversee and manage the program. So all of that really representing the owner, the fact that it is limited, the fact that you are kind of a trusted advisor, you really become a part of their staff almost, part of their
Right.
organization, and helping them manage, plan, and manage the program. One of the key aspects of our approach to implementing the executive program management model is the implementation planning up front. We're doing a lot of that now at St. Louis and Cincinnati and Cleveland, some other airports we're working at. We come in very early in the process. We really sit down with the owner and try to understand, what their objectives are clearly, what their capabilities are, and what their constraints are. So those three aspects allows us to take them through a process where we determine what is the right delivery method based on that, what is their systems that need to be put in place based on that. So through a process that we take them, we now have a execution strategy that is really customized to their unique situation. The old adage in the airport business, you've been to one airport, you've been to one airport. So they're all different. They all have different cultures, different use of lease agreements with airlines, different politics. So every airport's a little different. So it's critical to really develop this customized execution strategy with the airport. So it represents their unique situation, and it just increases the degree of success tremendously. So you're not just implement, well, here's what I did on the last program. You're actually implementing it
Right.
in a way that fits their particular situation. So it's worked out really well so far.
Yes, I was going to say so. An obvious advantage would be that the success rate is going to be higher of these projects because you've taken a more proactive measure to see what actually is possible and not just probable to do. Um, Also helps with efficiency. What are some other advantages that you would say that companies learn as they go along?
Well, clearly, to your point, it's much more efficient. It's actually much more cost effective because now you've got a implementation strategy that's specific to their needs, as opposed to just a program approach where you're just bringing a lot of resources to the table that may or may not be necessary. Now you're bringing exactly what needs to be to the program to manage the program. So I think efficiency is clearly one, cost effectiveness is clearly one. I think, again, as you said, a much higher degree of success. The other aspect of it, though, that I think is critical is it's not just about on budget and on schedule. Those things are obviously critical, but by devising an execution strategy that really is comprehensive to their situation, now you're dealing with all the other stakeholders that I have to deal with, all the other influences they have to deal
Right.
with. That working in a public sector environment is sometimes challenging, a lot
Very
of times very
challenging, yes.
challenging. So once you develop an execution strategy that fits that unique situation in that community, higher degree of success, is going to happen.
Right, because you're customizing it in such a way that those constraints won't cause a failure.
Cause a failure, or at least you're responsive to them. You know what they are. You plan for them.
It's not an unknown stressor
Exactly.
or a
It's not-
surprise.
yeah, not something you stumble over as you go.
Right.
Communication, as an example, is a key aspect of it in your community. Obviously the relationships with your airlines, the relationships with, as like I said, the communities. Just a lot of different stakeholders are involved in developing a large capital program at a public airport.
Well, that is wonderful, and I think you've explained every reason that should be the way this process goes, so we can
Right.
have successful projects and great airports.
Yeah,
So, thank you, Clay.
thank you. Appreciate it.